Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure, actually, let me put that bad boy in the comments. Hopefully, I was hoping these damn construction dudes wouldn't be too damn loud because, as you know, and I've mentioned this before because it pisses me off, um, they're building about 500 homes behind me. No, that's not it. Let me know if you can hear him hammering and shit in the background, and I'll close the door. But I like to have the door open in the studio sometimes. You know, sunlight, natural light, fresh air. Plus, I have the sprinklers on in the backyard. So if I'm able to hear the sprinklers, then it will remind me to shut them off. So if you guys could do that, about 20 minutes or so, if you guys could remind me in the chat to turn that shit off, that would be greatly appreciated. My water bill will thank you. But what I'm doing right now is I am going to put the link to my Teespring. I got some brand new designs up there. Shout out to my man Gabe El Taib, who did some designs for me, and I asked him to change a design for me and resend it to me, and he did that. So I'll have even more merch coming up today that I'm going to upload. And so there's the link to my Teespring, and make sure you put in promo code Sloppy Joe, all caps, no spaces. That will get you 20% off. Not bad, huh? Shout out to everybody here. We already have over 100 cats in here. I sure appreciate it. Friday afternoon. What do you guys got planned for the weekend? Something? Nothing? You're just going to chill? Or you got more things to do than you want? Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Doc Eckes, Sonny Singh, Justin Desroches, Matt Mittens, Nate DZ502. Of course, my man Mark's Music Obsession. The Old Bag, Authentically Kennedy, the new mom. I'm Jake, GJB Films. Sweet Mama G, what's up? Tony Hannafin. Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival. What's up, man? Hope you got my playlist. Oh, Kennedy says she just put the baby down for a nap. Well, hopefully you'll give mommy a few hours of sleep, huh? A few hours to rest and probably clean up after you and prepare your meal for when you wake up. Jeremy Johnson, Lynn Rogers. Get anybody else? Diesel, what's up? Diesel. Gino Hendricks, Alan Pope, Fuse, the whole team, and Carowin 69. Was that like the year you were born or something, or are you being a pervert? Either way, you're welcome here. From East Texas, shout out. Let's do and Gino's from Kansas. Let's do a roll call. Where's everybody from? The usual suspects. I know where some of you are from. James Salter, what's up? DW, drinking a little beer, having a cold beer. H.G. Wells, what's up? And thank you. Says keep the walking going. I do. I will. Thank you, Kenneth Jackson. What's up? And every morning I start it at 6:30, and I always post a little video on my YouTube Shorts. So I appreciate you guys checking that out. So let's see who we got where everybody's from. GJB Films. I didn't know you were. I forgot you were from Canada, Ontario. So let's see. So we got Ohio, Michigan, Rexburg, Idaho. Think about what you think about. What's up? Shout out to you and your new wife and the new baby. Christian Yohoser, I knew you were from Canada. Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Justin Desroches, of course, from Massachusetts. Stay out of that van. Carolyn 69 was also born in East Texas. Tucson, Sebastian, Florida. Washington State. Okay, I'm Jake, so you know exactly what I'm dealing with. You know exactly what it's like on the left coast. Moreno Valley, Khalifa, say, Edmonton, Alberta. A lot of love for America's hat. Appreciate it. Utah, Redding, California. Julie, what's up? So you're a few hours north of me. I'm near Sacramento. Actually, I think it's about a few hours, something like that. James Salter is from VA, 45 miles away from DC. I bet you can smell it, huh? Tammy Hunsberger, thank you, from Pennsylvania. None the miser from Gaza Strip, Ohio. Colorado, Navarre, is that how you say it? Navarre, Florida, Austin, Texas, Medford, Oregon. Michelle Baker, also on the left coast. Ohio. Okay, Joe Beard from Wichita. Appreciate you guys from wherever you are from. Bobby Loader Jr. from North Kakalaka. John Lennon, Macedon, how you say that? New York. John Lennon from New York. That's crazy. You know how that ended for him. Nikolai 40, hope I said that right. West Point, Califas. Bill Shepard from Georgia. The Peach State. Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm trying to get to a comment that I saw. Bobby Loader Jr. says, love your channel. What happened? It says your channel was deleted. That was on Instagram. So what happened was I get a notice saying, we suspended your account because there are too many things on your account that go against their guidelines or whatever. And then so I put in an appeal, and 5 minutes later, they're like, okay, you're back. Fuck. So it seems like you suspended my account without looking at my account. Whatever. Fuck you, Instagram. Authentically Kennedy says, how far are you walking? My husband's trying to do 20,000 steps a day. I do between 2.5 and 3 miles a day. I'm not sure how many steps that is, but I also, every other day, I go in the sauna too for 35 minutes at 135 degrees. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Steph, that's why IG does suck very much. Ugh. Yeah, HG, Hollywood's second home is Georgia. Yeah, there's some sound stages and stuff down there. Tyler Perry with his weird ass. DJ John T, I know you're from Sweden, yeah. Oscar Gonzalez says today is Pizza Friday. Isn't every day pizza day? Got to be one of the greatest foods ever invented, created, whatever you want to call it, is pizza. Everything you need, all in one. Fold that bitch in half. If you don't fold your slice of pizza in half, we got to talk after the live stream, because that's the only way to eat that shit. Fold it in half and get to it. Everything's there. You don't need utensils. Just grab your slice and get the fuck out. She says, "This is literally on the way. You ordered a pizza, so we got people drinking beer and ordering pizza in here. Damn it, damn it! You guys got the perfect Friday." Authentically Kennedy says, "Perfect. Looks like it's going to be a 6-pack summer." Slow down there. Authentically Kennedy, you might be a little more ambitious than me. None the Miser says, white pizza sounds racist to me. Who the fuck's eating white pizza? White sauce? I've never heard of white pizza. But you know, they'll jam racism in anything. Everything's racist now. Just say something. Say a word. That's racist. Because actually the word "the" was used by colonizers. Oh, shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's like when Bugs Bunny would slap Elmer Fudd. Shut up. Anyway, Fuse the whole team says, kind of pizza you want, white or black? I'll take both. Give me a biracial pizza. I want the best of both worlds. So what are we talking about today, people? The first thing I want to talk about is something that is just absolutely crazy. That's why I named this live stream The Nerve. The nerve of these Ukrainian soldiers. Who do you think you are? Better question, do you know who we are? Do you know who America is? We are your daddy. We open our wallet and give you the funds to go out and partay. We are your daddy. So you don't talk to daddy like that. You watch your tongue and you watch your tone when you talk to daddy. And that's who we are. DJ John T, pineapple on pizza. Are you fucking crazy? No, thank you. Fruit here, pizza here. Do not bring them together. Diesel, Mount Mike's pizza is the best. Ooh, I hate to disagree, but if we're talking pizza parlor / delivery pizza, the best is Round Table. Period. Hands down. Mount Mike's is cool. Mount Mike's is a close second, but Round Table is the best pizza parlor / delivery pizza. And I don't think you guys have it outside of California, which is a shame because you're missing out, but it's fucking delish. And in my old age, I've started to like spicy foods. So for the first time, I've been putting those red chili flakes on my pizza. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I was never a fan, didn't really like spicy food, but I'm into the jalapenos, red pepper flakes, hot sauce. I don't know, that happened to anybody else? Did your tongue change on you over the years? Thank you, Diesel. He says Round Table is actually the best. Thank you, sir. I'm glad I could convert you so easily. Just do it, a hot slice of Round Table. Get out of here. Get out of here, Push. Hey, Push. Go over there and get us a hot slice of Round Table pizza over here. Brian King B, what up? I did a roll call, but I know you from North Kakalaka, right? Right. Raquita Johnson, what up? Yeah. Good to have you back up in here. Back up in these beach. Sweet Mama G, she knows. JG, Round Table is fire. Yeah, it's delicious. Z9er, welcome. Says Dallas out here got Round Table and Mount Mike's. Okay, so you know that Round Table is better. Sonia Aldridge, hi from Albuquerque, the land of enchantment, the place where Alec Baldwin shot that lady. Welcome. Welcome. Himabar Chris, what up? If I missed your name, I apologize. But I'm glad to see all you sons of bitches in here. Rabbit to Goose, Coney Dog Pizza. Oh, is that like a place that has pizza? Because I was thinking Coney Island hot dog on a pizza for a second. I don't know. I'd probably try that. Sounds weird. I'll try it. Jeremy Johnson, welcome. He says Zelensky has a punchable face. Here's the question, Jeremy. Would he feel the punch due to the fact that he snorts piles of coke? I don't think he would feel it. King B says we got Bricks Pizza out here in Wilmington. I don't know anything about Bricks Pizza, but I will put Round Table up against it. It's that good. Bad Lama Yuriku. Excuse me for saying that one wrong. State is pretty though. Talking about New Mexico, it is gorgeous. Looks like some parts of it look like the surface of Mars, but yeah, it's beautiful. I got family out there. Man. Roger Wood, Booger Sugar, baby. That's right. You know, Zelensky hasn't felt his face since the 90s. And if you know that song by The Weeknd, I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You, but I like it. It's about cocaine. Yeah, yo. Authentically Kennedy says a nice deep dish, light sauce, light shush, extra olives. She likes it briny, extra mushrooms, jalapenos, fresh basil drizzled in balsamic vinegar. Bomb. How do you feel about balsamic glaze, though? Authentically Kennedy. That's next level. Balsamic glaze is shit. Is le shit. And about Chris Zelensky, I got these cheeseburgers, man. I'll suck your dick. That's probably why he comes to the White House occasionally. You gotta pay for all that American tax money. Let's be honest. He has no gas. Strider Shadow, thank you. Welcome. Bienvenue. Kanita Osi, welcome to you as well. So we're going to talk about those bitch-ass Ukrainian soldiers who had the nerve to fix their tongues to speak against daddy. Oh, Kennedy, I wasn't correcting you. I just throwing it out there. I didn't know if you were a fan of the glaze. But yeah, a balsamic glaze on that bitch. Okay. And the commie college campuses, Matthew Coolidge, what's up? Are they being reclaimed? You're starting to see in New York and California, of all places. You're starting to see police show up, take down the encampments, and throw these dirty hippies off campus, either back in class. But let's be honest, a lot of them aren't students. They're pros. This is what they do. They go from place to place agitating. So we'll talk about that. A Duke, what's up? And the Gaza refugees. Sloppy Joe's administration wants you to have some new neighbors. And they say they'll be vetted. They go through medical screening and they have family in America. So it's okay. It's all right. These are good people. Yes, they come from a country that was popping and locking in the streets on 9/11, celebrating the death of Americans. But they have somehow found the good Palestinians that they want to allow by the thousands to come to America. Now, Jay Luther, what's up? Hey, baby, my name is Luther, Jay Luther. Let me ask you guys this. When the refugees get here, because they gonna bring them, when you are laying down, drooling on your pillow, that's when they're going to sneak them in under the cover of night, like the Colts when they left Indianapolis or Baltimore. I don't know, whichever one of those teams left. That's how they did it. They snuck out in the middle of the night, left the town. It was fucked up. Oh, and Moody, what's up? Thank you. But do you guys think for 1 second that these refugees are going to move into the neighborhoods of the politicians who support this shit? Do you think Sloppy Joe is going to have them move into his neighborhood? Do you think Pelosi and even some of these rhinos, do you think they're going to welcome these refugees into their neighborhood, or do you think they're going to welcome them into your neighborhood? Terry Lucas, thank you. The Cleveland Browns, when they left Baltimore, they did that under the cover of night. So do you think they're going to their neighborhoods? Do you think they're going to lead by example and bring them into their place of residence first? Or do you think they're going to send them to you? We'll get back to that. And Saltiment Warrior, what's up to you? Welcome. Mr. Squeeze, welcome. And Jerry Seinfeld, what's the deal? He says what we've already known. Not to, I'm talking shit about him, but it's good to see somebody who's an A-lister saying what the American folks, the commoners, the paupers already know, that woke ruins everything. Think of your favorite meal. It could be something your mom or your grandma made, or a restaurant you go to. There's a dish you get there, and it's good every time. Every time it's good. Think of a meal, your favorite meal, and let's say it's at a restaurant or something and you live far away. It's so good that you would travel. If you had the money, you would travel to that place just to eat and come back home. Let's say it was, you moved out of state and it's a few states away. You would charter a flight and fly to that place just to eat that meal. And every time you eat it, it's delicious. Well, just imagine some homeless guy came staggering in and he squatted over your plate and took a shit on it. That's woke. That's what that does. It ruins everything. It permeates everything and it ruins it. Buddy Daniels, welcome. He says, Jay Green, what did Dookie do, homie? Hey, you tell me. It's your world. I'm just living in it. But that's what woke does. It messes everything. I was like, damn it, this thing was great. It was perfect. And then here you come ruining it. Well, that's what he was saying. What's the deal? Sounds like Digital Underground Humpty. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. So let's get this party started, people, because I got to go Scoop Jr. Oh, stupid thing. See these headphones? They pull on my hat, and then it comes undone. Hold on. That's it. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not. I can't. CYANT. Can't. Authentically Kenny says, as always, super chats are acting retarded. I apologize, but if you are so inclined, you could always send it on that Cash App. Thank you. Brian King B, stop playing so much. Don't put that on me, King B. All right, because you and some others, Justin Desroches, just to name a few, are extremely player. I'm here trying to do my damn job, and next thing I know, there's some bullshit going on in the comment section. So don't put that on me. Natalie Garner, thank you. She says, question is, how much longer are Americans going to put up with Democrats' tyranny? That's a good question. We're going to find out in a few months. We going to find out. Owen Moody says, how much have I lost so far? I don't know. I'll have to go check. I haven't looked in a while. I was figuring I was waiting until I notice it. You know, people always notice it first before you do. Yeah, just put your message in the chat, Kennedy. I'll read it. But yeah, I'll find out. But I was waiting until like I notice. You know what I mean? Like you put them on, you're like, oh shit, got a little room, a little extra room. But I don't know yet. Something better be going on because I started March. I think the first week of March, I started my journey to like live my truth, my best life. Ugh. Let's see. But before we get started, Mimi Shaw, what's up? Welcome. True, she says, I'm scared who will be counting the votes. Oh boy. See, and this is what I meant, Brian King B. This is what I meant right here, Diesel. Hopefully during this weight loss journey, you shed the 49ers off of your resume. That's some bullshit. So in case you guys don't know, and it is really sad, maybe we can put together some kind of March of Dimes or something for Diesel, but he's suffering from being a Raider fan. Ooh. So, you know, we all know people with illnesses. Let's not make fun of him. Be kind in the comments. But, you know, that's his thing. That's his journey. And I will say, when I was in Vegas a few weeks ago, I drove past the Raiders Stadium and I gave him one of these right out the window. So I don't give a shit. But before we get started, let's show some appreciation, shall we? I like to do that from time to time. I think it's very, very important to show people appreciation. Show them that you appreciate what they do. So here's what I like to do. Christian Yehoser, what are you tagging it, boo? He says, we just came back from Nolens, great town. I think you might be a little sarcastic because, well, it depends on where you go. You know, I'm sure if you stayed in the touristy part, it probably was safe, but you get to fucking around in some of those ghettos, some of those wards. No, thank you. Again, Hoser, thanks. He says, Melanie and I just got back from New Orleans. What a great town. I drank a 12-pack in the sun. I went from pasty white to lobster red. Cheers. Yes. White folks, I do notice that the sun can be your enemy. When I was in the Navy, we were off the coast of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we had, if you didn't have duty, you were able to party. We had barbecue. There were drinks and stuff, not alcohol, but, you know, because you can't serve alcohol in United States Navy vessels. And drinks and parties and food and barbecue, and people were fishing off the boat. And there were some guys out there. There were some white individuals who were out there all day long throwing the football and shit. And the next day it was all bad. One guy, a couple guys, their skin looked like fried chicken. It was like blistering, yellow bubbles and blisters on their skin. And it was like purple. That shit looked disgusting. So you fair-skinned folk, be careful. The drunken sailor, been there. Thank you. He says, as I said, our government hates us. It certainly appears that way. I believe not all of them. There are some good ones, but yeah, for the most part, they do. They despise us. If they didn't, then why would they create such policies? Why would they open our border? Why would they tax the shit out of us and inflation and all of those horrible things? You don't do that to people you love. You don't do that to people you care about. I mean, am I like crazy? DJ John T, thank you. He says, question, how international are we today? Well, so far, the only two other countries represented in the comment section are yours of Sweden, of course, and Canada. So anybody else out there from another country, speak up. We'd love to have you. Any other countries out there represented in the audience today? Got him, Coach. 23 says Pasadena, California here, the big city of roses. Pasadena is gorge. Love Pasadena. Eric Schultz, no apologies necessary. The important thing is you're here now, man. See, I'm just cruising. I got it, Kennedy. Kennedy, authentically Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy. I got it, and I thank you, young lady. Booyakasha. Bark Mark, what up? Corey Freewolf, welcome. Hello. Jet Blackheart 83, what's up? I said I'm American, which is foreign to the United States. Ain't that true? Daniel Vita, welcome. Bienvenido. Ingsoc Information Department, Tennessee. Welcome you all, you motherfuckers. So let me show you something that's going to piss you guys off. You guys ready for your anger blood? I haven't given you guys one of these in a long time. So yeah, Zach, hatless today. I just had my hat on and my headphones were pulling on them and it made it unsnap and it made me upset. So this is how I'm dealing with it. So if you guys are new to this and you don't know what anger blood is, it's when I show you something that makes you so angry that a single drop of blood will come from your nose, ears, or even your eyes. You never know. Usually it's from the nostril. But I'm going to show you something that's going to piss you off so bad that you will have a single drop of blood trickle down out of pure anger. And this, my friends, is no different. So what we have here is some Ukrainian soldiers, and they are, I don't know, I figured they should be, fighting somewhere since you're taking billions of our dollars in tax revenue. I figured you guys be out there shooting at Russians, but whatever. But they're hanging out, and they have an effigy of Donald Trump. It's this mannequin thing or whatever. It looks like Donald Trump standing there, and they have some choice words, and then they set it on fire. And what I'm thinking is, well, forget it. Let me show you first. You get your drop of plasma, anger plasma, and then I'll tell you what I think. And then I'll go in the comment section and you can tell me what you think. Okay, class? Okay. Anger blood. In 3, 2, 1.
Звертаємося до Дональда Трампа. Через тебе, паскуда, президенту Зеленському не відправляли зброю. Тобі більше не бути президентом. Ти зрадник і заплатиш кров'ю за те, що зробив.
Isn't that nice?
Слава Україні!
Isn't that nice? Shout out to Oliver Mack at Right Wing Angel. And it says, we address Donald Trump.
Звертаємося до Дональда Трампа. Через тебе, паскуда,
Because of you, bastard,
президенту Зеленському не
President Zelensky couldn't get any weapons.
відправляли зброю. Тобі більше не бути
You will never be president again.
президентом. Ти зрадник і
You're a
заплатиш
traitor.
кров'ю за те,
And you will pay with your blood for what you did.
що зробив.
And then poof pow, he's on fire. So, where do we begin? First of all, okay, so the aforementioned tax money that's funding this war, and I mean funding, not only the war, but their infrastructure. We are giving you everything. You would have shown up to the war with Russia naked with some pitchforks and a pool cue and maybe some pierogies, and Russia would have kicked the absolute shit out of you in a day. But here comes old Daddy America. Here comes Daddy Warbucks, and we open up our slush fund of tax money for you, and we pay for your missiles and your tanks and your vehicles and your bullets and your Kevlar vests and your uniforms and your helmets. We buy everything. We take you school shopping. Remember going school shopping with your parents and with your mom, usually with your mom. That's who I always went with. Mom would get you everything, your underwear, your socks, pants, shirts, shoes, jackets, get you everything because you have no job. Yeah, you can't create any income. There's laws against you working as a kid. So your parents provide everything. So we are your parents, Ukraine, and we're providing everything. We're subsidizing your economy. We're keeping your little boutiques open and paying your government and making sure that Ukrainians can live their best life. And you ill-prepared motherfuckers have the unmitigated gall to make an effigy of President Donald Trump, call him a bastard, and say that he's going to pay with his blood. Is that a threat? Are you threatening a United States president? Now, what these dumb Nazi pieces of shit don't realize is some of that tax money that we give to you to keep your ass from dying comes from Trump supporters and Trump voters. And to be honest, I wouldn't like this if they did it to Sloppy Joe. That's our president. That's our invalid. That's our senile old child sniffer. He belongs to us. But to do it to Trump, you mad because Trump wouldn't give all of our fucking money to you idiots? He wouldn't get involved with it? I don't give a shit. I don't care what happens to Ukraine. I do not care. I don't care who you get in a fight with. And there are people saying, well, we have to protect them because if Russia, but this is going to happen if Russia takes over. Russia has 20% of their country anyway. That's not our problem. Do you see the rest of the world breaking their neck to come to our aid? No, America. You put your money away. Your money's no good here. We'll take care of it. This collection, us countries over here, we'll take care of that, America. Don't worry about it. America, sit this one out. America, we got it. We're going to have the world's biggest bake sale, and we're going to come up with the money to take care of it. America, you sit this one out. Don't worry about it. Does that ever happen? No, they sit back and then they let America pay for everything. They don't ever come to our rescue. How many Ukrainian Red Cross members did you see down there in Texas over the last couple of years with the hurricanes and shit? The snowstorm they had coming through there, the floods, the wildfires. I don't see any British firefighters out there. Maybe we got some Canadian ones, but that's only because we're connected. You got the nerve to burn an effigy of our president? Fuck you, Ukraine. We shouldn't give you another fucking dime. Without us, you would be nothing. Without us, you wouldn't be Ukraine anymore. You'd be a Russia satellite office. He's going to pay with his blood? What are you going to do? You fuckers can't even beat Russia. How are you going to come over here and do something to Donald Trump? You fuckers can't put gas in your tank. You don't even have tanks without us. Remember seeing the footage of the train cars full of M1A1 Abrams tanks going to Ukraine? You guys don't have shit without us. You guys would have showed up to that war like that reality show, Naked and Afraid. Oh, please, please, Russia, don't kill us. We have nothing. We have nothing but uncircumcised penises and vodka. Please. You wouldn't be able to do shit. You motherfuckers have the nerve to do this. You Nazis. And you would think that Ukrainian soldiers would love Donald Trump because he's a Nazi, right? And you guys are definitely Nazis. We are giving money to a group of Nazis. Literally. And so I'm reading this article yesterday, and it's basically saying, hey, American people, what are you guys so worried about? What are you guys so worried about? All this money going to Ukraine, it's already been allocated. It's coming out of the defense fund. It's not like they're taking new money and giving it to Ukraine. It's already been allocated. It's already in the budget. So what's the big deal? Number one, our military budget shouldn't be as big as it is. I'm sorry, but we are so well advanced in our weaponry and well trained that we could take a year or two off. Maybe somebody in the comments, if you know about this, what would happen if we basically took a year off from the military budget? We just said for the year 2025, there will be no money going to the U.S. military budget. Now, of course, we'll pay the soldiers, airmen, Marines, and sailors and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about building new bombs and new ships and new planes. What would happen to our status as the most powerful military in the world if we took a year off from the military budget? I don't think anything. I think nothing would happen. Lee Thomas says Biden looking like the Crypt Keeper. I don't know. I would say the Crypt Keeper is more valuable to America because at least the Crypt Keeper made you laugh. Hello, kitties. And it showed you a cool, scary story for 30 minutes. Yeah, Bad Llama, Yurikehu, excuse me for if I said that wrong. We're 20 years ahead on average. Yeah, we're good. We could probably take a few years off from our military budget. But if you take that $800 billion that goes to our military budget every year, aside from paying, the soldiers and stuff, I think we'd be all right. So whether it's allocated already or not, I don't want it going to them. It's our budget, right? It's our money, so it should go to our military. Just because that's supposed to make it better? That was the tone of the article. What are you worried about? It's already allocated. It's already been accounted for. So it doesn't matter what we do with it. Yes, it does. It does matter. That's our money. And it's going to people who are shitting on the greatest president we've ever had. Fuck you. You would be decimated in 24 hours if it wasn't for us. And this is how you turn around and spit in our face. You fucking Nazi soldiers. Good point, Jet Black. We don't owe them anything. They're not even in NATO. You're not even that stupid made-up group, NATO, that we shouldn't even be a part of. We are NATO. Look at the contributions of America to NATO and then to NATO. Almost said tomato. And then look at the other countries after us. Look how much they're putting into it. Keep that shit. Keep that shit. That's like your kids coming up to you and emptying out their piggy bank to help you pay for mortgage. Just keep it, kid. That $10, $20 you got, it ain't going to make a dent. Keep that money. The rest of you NATO countries, it means shit to us. Fucking ridiculous, man. I couldn't believe that. I was like, no, you didn't. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. You will pay with your blood, you bastard. What does that mean? Pay with his blood? Fuck does that mean? That sounds like a threat to me. If your neighbor came up to you and says something happened to you between you and your neighbor, and they came up to you and said, you're going to pay with your blood, would you take that as a threat? Wouldn't you take that as something's going to happen? That's how I take it. That's how we should take it. That's a threat. What do you think Zelensky's going to do? Nothing. He's going to snort coke, pass out with some big old rubber dick in his ass, and do absolutely nothing. Coked out of his fucking mind anyway. He's probably taking artwork and shit out of the Ukrainian capital trying to sell it to get more coke. Oh, never mind. He doesn't have to because we pay for it all. We pay for it all. You don't have to go in your pocket for nothing, Ukraine. Daddy America, we got you. Yes, Daddy. Fuckers. Paytar. Thank you. Thank you, man. Here's payment for my late fee. And don't let it happen again. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bam. Jeanette Davis, thank you, Melia. Happy Friday, JG. I've heard from my goddaughter, Seaman recruit Munjin. Hope I said that right. She appreciated the shout out last week. I'll email you her response. It's a bit long. That's cool. Send it. Send me her, if she doesn't mind, send me her address. I'll send her a letter. I know how cool it is to get letters from the States when you're serving. Letters are anybody who has anyone in the military, especially if they're in boot camp, basic training, whatever they call it, send them a letter. It means a lot. Words cannot express. DM, thank you. He says, he or she says, why wouldn't the enemies attack under this illegit? Yeah, why wouldn't they? Well, you see the whole war in Ukraine. That's why they did it. You think the Russians didn't have beef with Ukraine until Sloppy Joe got in office? They were just waiting. Putin was waiting. That's why a lot of this shit's happening, because they know Sloppy Joe is worthless. What did he tell the Iranians? Hey, don't. Okay? Don't. Ooh, don't. Fuck. Scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. Idiot. Give him a bowl of oatmeal. GJB Films, thank you, from Canada. Member for 13 months. I appreciate that. Says, yo, GG, your favorite autistic man here. What are the craziest things you heard a distant family member say? P.S. White won't let me, or YouTube, excuse me, YouTube won't let me say statistic. That's stupid. Why? So dumb, stupid ass YouTube. What's the craziest thing I've heard a distant family member say? So there was a family get together last year, and my wife and I thought it would be a nice thing to do to take all of the kids to the mall. They have a store. There's a store chain out here in California called Five Below. So obviously everything inside of it is $5 and below. So we took all the kids and told them, candy, whatever you want, get whatever you want. Bunch of, they got phone chargers, all that cheap Chinese bullshit, but whatever, snacks, get whatever you guys want. There was probably 10 of them, ranging from age 7 to 16. So we took them all, and they all got their stuff. So we got everybody together because, of course, everybody doesn't buy their stuff at the same time. 5 of them are still looking. 5 of them are at the register. So finally get everybody wrangled in the front of the store. And so we're like, okay, let's go. Because we're just trying to waste time. We took them to food and to the mall to walk around just to give the parents some quiet time, some adult time so they could talk or whatever. And we're like, let's walk over to Target. So we're walking over to Target, and one of, I guess they would be my cousins, my second cousins or something, told my son was finishing up a snack of chips or something he had. And she tells him, make sure you finish those before you go inside Target because they think we steal. And I told her, I said, don't tell him that. Don't teach him that. That's ridiculous. No one's going to think you steal just because you have skin that's darker than a sheet of office or printer paper, right? And my son, he's mixed. So it's not like, he's this dark-skinned kid with, the usual suspects sagging his pants and all that bullshit. And he's a 7-year-old kid. I was like, if you act like somebody who's stealing, then they're probably going to think you steal. If you look like the people who are always stealing, then they'll think you're going to steal. And that's another thing. This is in a nice area. And the family member who said that, she was also mixed. So what are you talking about? These are like Cosby kids, right? Like she plays clarinet and stuff, 4-point-something GPA. Like no one is going to look at you and think you're going to steal. Now, if you got a weave in your head, you loud as fuck, and you got pajama pants on and SpongeBob Crocs, yeah, they're probably going to think you're going to steal. But it's not because of your skin color. It's because of the way you're acting. If my son was in a 3-piece suit, nobody's going to think he's going to steal because he doesn't look like somebody who would. He doesn't look like a little thug. And he's not loud. And he's not aggressive and disrespectful. That's why they think you'd be somebody that steals. Not because, skin color, thief. That really upset me. I was like, don't tell him that. Don't even plant that seed in the back of his little mind that somehow he's a little victim or they're going to look at him a certain way because of the color of his skin. No, it's the way you act. And I have the same skin color. And if I saw you coming in here loud as fuck in some pajama pants and SpongeBob Crocs, yeah, I'm going to be looking at your ass too. But in that store, if it was a bunch of toothless, cracked out white meth addicts, they'll probably think they're going to steal over you, Cosby kid. That was a long answer, but that's what it is, GJB Films. Repair and report. Thank you for the Twompski. Thank you for being who you are, sir. It's people like you that give me hope that one day things may return to normal. I appreciate you, and I thank you for saying that. And it reminds me of something. Shout out to my man, Shant and Jetty. I was on his channel last night. Shout out to Mark's Music Obsession. He was there too. Diesel was also there. But it reminded me of something that he said. And we were watching a movie. He does a thing where you watch, it's like a watch party. And the movie we were watching was Dawn of the Dead from 1978. You talk about low budget. The budget for that movie must have been $17.50. The makeup, horrible. Dialogue, horrible. Special effects, fucking terrible. But it was from 1978, and that's key because he said we're in 1978 because you look at the 80s, you look at the entertainment, you look at the excess and the abundance that we had in the 1980s. Entertainment, music, everything was great in the 80s. Now, not everything, but for the most part, life was great in the 80s. Look at the price of the cost of living in the 80s. We had Reagan in the 80s. So it was a great decade. I think it was the greatest decade. But he says that's where we are now. We're about 1978. And the 70s and the 60s, you have the commies in academia teaching the kids. Something I always like to compare it to, as you guys know, I used to watch a lot of cartoons as a kid. And if you look at Warner Brothers and you look at Tom and Jerry, Hanna-Barbera and all that stuff, in the 40s and 50s, the animation was great. You get into the 60s and 70s, it was fucking terrible. The drawing was terrible. The directing was terrible. But in the 80s, it changed. So he said, we're about 1978 right now. So we're getting close to the 80s. We're getting close to the tide turning and people getting sick of this woke garbage and people getting sick of all the alphabet soup group bullshit, pushing it on our kids. So we're almost there. I hope he's right. I hope that we are in 78, so to speak, and we're about to hit the 80s and shit's about to get good. Leilani Mitchell, thank you, Malaria. Leilani Mitchell, appreciate it. She says, I hope President Trump takes this threat seriously. I think Secret Service will. I'm sure this has come across the radar of people who take these kinds of things seriously for a living, and I hope so. I hope he has something to say about it. Like, who the fuck you think you are? The nerve. The nerve. We are financing your life. And you got something to say to our president? Bitch, please. At ease, disease. Mopar girl, thank you. Mopar girl, member for 14 months. Thank you. Hi, JG. Glad to make it to a live. It's a vibe. Ooh. You guys remember where that came from? Was it a couple years ago where Macy Gray, I think she was talking to Pierce Morgan or somebody, and she was saying how mad she was that people are saying, oh, I just have to identify as a woman, and I can be. She was like, no, you can't. She's like, being a woman is more than just feeling that way. You know, it's this and it's that, and you have your period, and blah, blah, blah. There's something to being a woman. And then maybe 2 days later, she's apologizing. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Being a woman, it's a vibe. You know, it's just something you feel, man. Hey, it's a nice vibe. So then it just turned into that. DJ John T, thank you. DJ John T, appreciate it. It says, I hear crazy things almost every day from friend-ish people, and it's always about Trump. When they know I love Trump, it's like I love Hitler, retards. Yeah, it's so dumb. That's something else we were talking about last night, that people like that, they've never had tough times in their life, so that's why they always want to drudge up bad things and live in a space of negativity. Because if you've had struggle in your life, you're looking for something positive. You're looking for that tide to change. You're looking for things to be different. You're not going to wallow in your despair. So these people they've never experienced any hard shit. So they think it's cool, man. But what about this verse? Thank you very much. I was driving and an ambulance passed by. Every car did the normal thing and pulled off the road with the hazards. Do you know who did not? And illegal. See, that can be avoided if you take the right steps, you become a legal citizen, and you're going to learn things like that. And you're going to take a driving test and get a driver's license, and you're going to have to study, and you're going to learn that when an ambulance or any kind of emergency response vehicle comes, you're going to pull over to the right and let them pass by. But, you know, when you're just handing out, you know, citizenship or the benefits of citizenship, like you're dealing cards, well, then people aren't going to learn that. They're not going to care because it was given to them, because they didn't have to work for it. And they don't give a shit. Anywho. Exactly, Joe. Desired victim mentality. They love it. It's the only way they get attention. If they identify as some kind of freak. My truth. Shit makes me so mad. Okay. 1 second. I'll be right back. I got to go turn off my sprinklers. You guys didn't remind me. Thank you very much. I blame you for my coming water bill. I wonder if the victim mentality will work with the water company. Like, I was on my live stream and I asked them to remind me to turn off the sprinkler system, and they didn't. So it's their fault. And I think that you should take some of the money off my bill because they didn't remind me. I asked them to remind me and they didn't. So it's their fault. Corey Freewell says, why do I want to mow my grass now? I did earlier. Fellas, talk to me. Matthew Coolidge says, get a timer. I have 212 timers in this live stream right now. You guys failed me. But tell me this, fellas, how cool is it to do yard work, whether you got trees to trim or weeds to pull, grass to cut, and when you're done, you just stand there. Ladies, notice this. Next time your man has a project or something outside, notice that when he's done, he's just going to stand there and look at it. I can't even explain it. It's a feeling that you get seeing the fruits of your labor, to stand there and look at all that work you just did, from this, the garage to be full of shit and, stuff you collected, and it gets unorganized, and you sit there and you clear all that stuff out. You get rid of the things you don't need, and you sweep and you do all that stuff. Your man will stand there and look at it. Same way, after he gets done, making love, and he stands there and looks at you and look at what he's done to your body. It's in us, girls. What can I say? That's right. Accomplishment. Something does something to us. Bad Llama says they leave the sprinklers on along the highway during a storm and complain about a gallon. Yeah, because that's not their money. They're not paying for it. It's so easy to spend other people's money. Chuck E. Cheese says, I cut down like 40 trees in my yard and my girlfriend doesn't even notice. She thinks they were never there. I know, man. That's why you just stand there and just look at what you've done and feel proud, man. Feel proud. So, college campuses, are they being reclaimed? Because you have, what was that, Columbia University, you had the cops come there, and they hoisted the fucking Palestinian flag. They took down the American flag and then put up the Palestinian flag. You little son of a bitch. So the cops came, NYPD came and pulled that shit down and put up the American flag. And then you see it at UCLA, on the UCLA campus. You saw the cops come in, and he took the Palestinian flag down and just threw that shit. I think somebody was like reaching for him to hand it to it, and they were probably gonna roll it up and toss it. Man, he took that shit, just fucking threw it. Get that piece of shit out of here. And you even had Mayor Eric Adams talking about how we are not going to stand for this. We are not going to have another country's flag supersede ours in this country. And I'm no fan of his, that if you watch me for more than 5 minutes. But hearing him say that, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So let's hear from Mayor Eric Adams on what he thought of those sons of bitches, those professional agitators putting up a Palestinian flag. What?
The significant part of the video was at the end. That's our flag, folks. Don't take over our buildings and put another flag up. That may be fine to other people, but it's not to me. My uncle died defending this country. And these men and women put their lives on the line. And it's despicable that schools will allow another country flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
Now, I love his passion. You can tell that he meant it. You can tell that he feels strongly about being an American. And that at the same time, you look at some of the policies that are happening in New York that may fly in the face of what he just said, but I'll just focus on that. I agree with what he's saying, of course. That's disrespectful to this country. It's disrespectful for those who put on the uniform and fought and may have died or come back not whole, for you to have the flag of another country flying here. I don't, unless it's the fucking UN building. I don't agree with it. Now, if it's your personal home and you're from another country, or you have family in another country and you want to fly the flag in front of your house, I mean, to be honest, I'd like to see it next to an American flag, but whatever, that's your house. But we're talking places that our tax dollars go to. So you need to show some respect. Now, if you guys want to start funding yourselves completely, go for it. But as long as you're taking my money, you need to represent my country and show a little bit of pride. Even if you don't want to, you better act like it. Like my mom would tell my brother and I when we would fight with each other, you don't have to like each other, or you may not love each other, but you better act like it. You better act like you do. It better appear that you do, even though you may not feel so in your body. On the all outward appearances better point to you loving each other. So that's what you're going to have to do. It's bullshit. You're funded by tax dollars. How much? And these fucking politicians who got the nerve to have Nancy Pelosi, that sloppy drunk demon. She was on MSNBC or some bullshit the other day, and she got a fucking Ukrainian flag on her lapel. Now, when you're Nancy Pelosi, the public citizen, and you're at home getting shit-faced, yelling at your husband for letting some guy come in the house and hit him with a hammer, and who was he, and why was he here when I was out of town, that's on you. You could wrap your liver-spotted varicose vein body in a Ukrainian flag. I don't care. But as long as you're on the clock, Nancy Pelosi, and you're Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, and you're supposed to be working for this country, you better not have a fucking Ukrainian flag on your person. That is disgusting, and that is disrespectful. Now, if you want to go to Ukraine and work for them, that would be amazing. That would be a Christmas gift in May, and I would love to see it. I will meet you at the airport. I will send you off with a farewell and cheers. Nancy, hey, it's been real. I will celebrate your departure. But as long as you are employed by the United States of America, the only flag you better have on your fucking lapel is an American one. I don't give a shit about any other country. I am a nationalist. If I loved another country, I would live in it, but I don't. I'm in this one, and I love this one. And if the politicians, the powers that be, would feel the same way, boy, would life get good for us. Boy, would it, if they felt the same way about this country that we do, and they were doing their best like we do our best, shit. Like my dad would say, we'd be shitting in tall cotton. But how can you do that? Who do you work for? Who is your boss? For you to come to work. Could you guys do that? Could you put the flag pin of another country on yourself? I couldn't do it. I could not show support for another country like that. I would show support in another way. DJ John T says China. DJ John T, what proof do you have that China controls our politicians? You give me one shred of evidence and I'll believe you. But especially when you're in an official capacity, you are an elected, selected official, and you're wearing the flag. Let me see. See if you can find an image of some Chinese politician wearing an American flag on their lapel. And if you do, the next picture you will see is of them being executed. Fuse the whole team says, love Japan. Yeah, great. Great. But if you are an elected official, you should not be wearing the Japanese flag on your lapel, showing support for another team, another country. That's just like the members of Sloppy Joe's cabinet being dual citizens. I don't agree with that shit. If you're a regular everyday citizen, you can be a fucking citizen of as many countries as you want. But as long as you're supposed to be working for my best interest, it is impossible for you to serve two masters. You cannot serve our country 100% if you have citizenship with another. Impossible. You can't. You cannot do two things equally. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible. I see you, Kennedy. I see you and I hear you and I respect you. Oh, okay, Kennedy, here we go. She says, Jericho, is your family ready for a Frenchie pup? Next batch will be born Mother's Day and ready for forever homes. July 4th. You get first pick of the litter if you're still looking. Well, Authentically Kennedy, you have officially started something because I'm sure my wife is watching this and now she is going to want to get one. I'm all for it. I grew up with dogs. I believe that dogs are a great part of the family. Yeah, I don't see why not. I'll talk to her. The thing is keeping it away from the kids, because once you tell the kids we're going to do it, we're going to get a dog, then all hell's going to break loose. So yes, I will talk to my wife, Authentically Kennedy, and I will have an answer for you. And I thank you. Yusuf Putz, welcome. Sloppy Joe, $12 million beach house. Now, which one? Which beach house are you talking about? The one in Delaware that he always visits? That one? Because I know, well, I don't know. $12 million beach house. How does he get a $12 million beach house and he only makes $400,000 a year as president? Maybe it was all those years that he was a senator making $175,000 a year. Does that? Let me see. Let me do some math because you guys know. You guys know I went to public school. So let me bust out the calculator. $175,000 times. How long was he in the Senate? 47 years? Let's say 50 years. Let's give him an extra 3. 50 years. That equals $8.7 million. Oopsie. That's not quite 12 million. And if you have a $12 million home, see, that's just the initial purchase price. Then you got upkeep. I'm sure he's not out there pushing a lawnmower unless he wants his hip to break and the fucking sands of time to come spilling out. Well, let's see. Let's go back to here. 1 second. Well, damn, I was gonna say, okay, let's go by Sloppy Joe's words, his own words. He says he's been in the Senate for 700 years. Okay, so 175,000. But how much did they make back then? Well, we can't calculate that because America wasn't around 700 years ago. Man, his math is off. So, wait a minute. How long has America been around? For about, what, 250 years? Something like that? Almost 250 years? Okay, we'll go back to there. I'm just trying to figure out how he got his $12 million house. That's all I'm trying to do, okay? How much did a member of Senate make in the 1700s? Okay, so members dutifully accepted $6 a day, $6 a day for nearly 40 years. And then in 1855, their pay went up to an annual salary of $3,000. Okay, so we'll do 40 years, 6. Okay, let's try to figure this out. I'm just trying to, because he would not steal, Sloppy Joe would not steal. He's the adult in the room, remember? Upstanding guy, he wouldn't steal. Okay. So you have 365 days in a year times 6. Okay, so that's $2,190. So you have $2,190. Oops. 2,190 times 40 years. Okay, that's $87,600. So we're getting there. Okay, we're getting it. We're inching closer to $12 million. Okay, so we have 87,600 bucks is what he made from our inception to 1855. Okay, so in 1855, they started making $3,000 a year. Okay, so let's see. So that's about 169 years. Okay, so 3,000 times 169. 3,000 times 169 years. Okay, that's $507,000. Ugh, not looking good on getting to that 3,000. Hold on a second. let's see. Let's say 100. Okay. 3,000 times 100. 300,000. Okay. Whoops. Okay. 19. Okay, so that's 70 years. Okay, hold on. So 70 years times 175,000. Okay, now we're at 12.2 million. Okay, so if he took all that money, so we're going back to the inception of America. So we have plus 300,000 plus the 87,600. 87,600. Okay, we're looking at $12.6 million that Sloppy Joe has made since his time work, because we can't count the 400 and some years before America was even started. We can only go from our inception. So since 1776 all the way up till today, Sloppy Joe has made $12.6 million. So if he took every single penny he was paid, never spent anything, he had somebody else pay for everything he needed, he would have the money to buy that house cash and still have $600,000 left. So maybe that's what he did. Maybe he didn't spend any money. Remember, he was a truck driver. He was a law professor. And what else did he do? And then he was in politics. So he had a lot of jobs. So maybe those are the jobs he worked to subsidize his lifestyle so he wouldn't have to cut into that 12.6 million. That's what I'm thinking. Because Joe is a stand-up guy. He's honest. He's compassionate. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, I'm voting for Biden. So I said, name one good thing that Biden has done. And he said, I kid you not, he goes, well, he's compassionate. Okay. I said, but how does his compassion translate into a good lifestyle for you as an American citizen? Like, do you and your wife lay in bed at night and just talk about all the compassion that you have in your bank account and all the compassion you're saving on your mortgage? I don't understand that. But hey, guys, he's compassionate. You always have that, whatever that means, however that translates into your fucking life. It's compassionate, and that is your voter. So what's the deal? Let's talk about Jerry Seinfeld. What a good guy. Any Seinfeld fans in here? I never got into Seinfeld. I just didn't like it. Maybe it wasn't my type of comedy. But it's like what? One of the most, maybe the most popular or most famous TV show ever, number one show ever, something like that. Even after, what's his name? Kramer. What's his real name? I can't remember his real name. But Kramer, when he had that show and he's all, nigger, I said it. That was the beginning. Michael Richards, that's his name. That was the beginning of this woke shit. Because remember, let's see, when was that? I'm going to Google Michael Richards nigger. Probably the funniest thing I've ever Googled in my life. Oh, no, I forgot to put Richard, so I just Googled Michael nigger. Oh man, what if there's somebody out there with that name? Holy hell. Oh man, that was too funny. Okay, 2006. That's when that happened. So it's 18 years ago that happened. 18 years. Oh, let me see. Hold on, Matthew. Let me see. I didn't even look what came up when I when I Googled that. Okay, Michael Nigger. Michael Nigger Mike Salter, 1868 to 1922. Who was that guy? Who was Michael Nigger Mike Salter? Wow. Who was that guy? Let's see. Looks like it's just a person. Hold on, you guys got to see this. Uh-oh. Who in the hell was Michael Nigger Mike? Oh, wow. This is some good shit here. Okay. So some Michael Richards does come up. Hold on a second. So it's something different. It's different if I look it up. If I look it up on my phone and bring, why is that? Why would the search result be different on my phone? Because when I look that up on my phone, this is what it brings up. Stupid green screen. But you can see right there, and it's a picture of his headstone. Michael Nigger Mike Salter. Ah, yes. Let's see if I put Salter there. How'd you get that nickname, man? How did you get that nickname? It's under findagrave.com. Wow. Okay, here, let me share this page with you. Probably the greatest page I've ever shared with anybody in my life. Yes. Michael Nigger Mike Salter. Wow. New York's underworld of 20 years ago lost in the picturesque survivor yesterday when death claimed Michael Salter, known in Pell as Met Streets in those days as Nigger Mike and the Prince of Chinatown. Nigger Mike, who had been in retirement at Brighton Beach for several years, suffered a heart attack on Surf Avenue and died shortly after being taken to the Coney Island Hospital. Holy hell. His famous opium den at 12 Pell Street held all the romance of fiction. One day he entertained the raiding police, to whom he always had been a thorn in the flesh. The next visiting nobility, millionaires, and curious women rubbed shoulders with pickpocket second-story men and slant-eyed Chinese. Holy, when they write this article. And who gave the place an atmosphere of Oriental glamour that sent a thrill down the spine of the uninitiated. This was in 1907, but when he had been a power behind the throne for 10 years before, and no matter how many times he was arrested, dozens of times on dozens of charges, some East Side politicians with whom he was hand in glove sent him back to Chinatown, where he ruled the yellow man as well as the white man. When he was arrested for voting too often, he escaped Blackwell's Island, only to serve a sentence of 5 days for yelling "scab" at some street cleaners on December 1st, 1911. Wow. Hold on. How do we get here on this live stream? Late in 1911, Chinatown mourned him as dead when the police reported him killed in Long Island City. But Nigger Mike walked into the wake and helped drink the refreshments on hand to keep the mourners' spirits up. He was a sort of rather fat man with big lips and a nose that hugged his face. So here's, I guess, the obituary. It says, old New York Times figure is victim of heart attack trouble at Coney. Michael Salter, known throughout New York as Nigger Mike, is dead at the Coney Island Hospital of heart trouble. Salter, who was 54 years old, was seized with a heart attack shortly before midnight Thursday at Surf Avenue and Seaside Walk, Coney Island. He was taken to the hospital and died there yesterday. Nigger Mike was a prominent figure in New York's Chinatown years ago, owning probably the first cabaret and dance hall in that district. The place was frequented by prominent sporting men. Salter sold the place several years ago, and 2 or 3 years ago opened a restaurant at Coney Island. He lived at 3053 East 4th Street, Brighton Beach. So was he a black dude? Is that why they called him that? No, he's Jewish. You look at he was Jewish because he has the Star of David on there and some Hebrew writing. So he was a Jewish dude who, I guess because they had a big nose, they called him Nigger Mike. Wow, this is a crazy live stream. How'd you guys let it get here? How'd you guys let this happen? Holy shit. Okay, anyway, this is not what I was trying to look up. Damn it. Talk about being play. But anyway, that's what happens when you Google Michael Nigger. That's what you get. Whew. Okay. Where were we? Ah, yes. Jerry Seinfeld. So, yeah, Michael Richards, that was 18 years ago when he did that, when he went off at that comedy club and dropped the N-bomb a bunch of times. Why did I say N-bomb? I just said the word nigger 15 times. But when he said that, and then so that was the beginning of this woke shit, not the very beginning, but remember Jesse Jackson and all these people made him apologize. He apologized to Jesse Jackson. Like Jesse Jackson was going to take that apology, go to Mount Negro and tell all the black people he apologized. Like, what are you apologizing to Jesse Jackson for? Fucking crook. Anyway. Boy, we went all the way around the block to get here. Comedy legend Jerry Seinfeld says the left and PC culture killed comedy. Jerry.
We would go home at the end of the day. Most people would go, oh, Cheers is on. Oh, MASH is on. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is on. All in the Family's on. You just expected there'll be some funny stuff we can watch on TV tonight. Well, guess what? Where is it? This is the result of the extreme left and PC crap and people worrying so much about offending other people. Mm-hmm. When you write a script and it goes into 4 or 5 different hands, committees, groups, here's our thought about this joke. Well, that's the end of your comedy. It used to be you would go home at the end of the day.
That is true. And it's usually people who don't know comedy. It's usually people, you're handing up these committees that he's talking about, these groups of people, these so-called writers. They're people who come from these college campuses who get these degrees in, in lesbian dog theory that are nonsense, that are overly sensitive. Everything's offensive, and you can't have comedy and being offended cannot live in the same space. It's water and oil. They don't mix. You have to be willing to be offended to enjoy comedy because something's going to offend you. And that's the beauty of comedy, is taking people to the edge of offense, taking them to the edge of being offended and making them enjoy it, making them laugh. We've all heard jokes watching stand-up comedy where you're like, oh, shit. That's where you're supposed to be. And you can't get there when you have a bunch of people who are offended by everything. You're never going to reach that comedic climax. That's like fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking, and you never get there. You never, you never get there because you're too offended. You never reach that promised land of laughter. You have to let people do what they do. You can't get in the way. You can't be in the kitchen and not allow that chef to cook. And he's right. It ruins everything. These people, these entertainers who want to do more than entertain, I'm sorry. All I want you to do is put on your little suit, put on your little monkey suit, get out there and bang those cymbals together and make me go ha ha, or make me cry, or show me some action. Should we make an action movie? That's all I want you for. I know you want to be more. I know you want to lecture and preach and tell people what they need to know and how they're supposed to feel. And look at this group over here. Don't make them upset. But I don't need you for that. I can determine all that stuff in my own life. All I need you to do is go out there, put on the court jester hat with the little bells and shit, and jump around and entertain, bounce the ball, throw the ball, hit the ball, hit that puck into a net, kick that ball into a net. Just kidding. We don't care about soccer in America. But that's all I need you to do. If you want to be more, you're going to have to go out and find an audience for that, separate from what I'm paying you to do. But you are nothing more than entertainment to me. That's all. And look at what you get for it. Millions of dollars, you're famous. Oh, I can't go out in public because somebody's going to want me to sign their tits. Boo-hoo. But you are nothing more than entertainment to me. You are an entertainment prostitute. I give you the money, you entertain me, and I leave. There's no cuddle. Talk to me. No, I don't want to. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I give you money, you make me laughy, and I go home. I'm sorry you didn't get enough in your life and nobody told you they loved you or hugged you or they abandoned you or they fed you to the wolves of Hollywood and let them stick their fingers in your butt. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I am not where you need to come to fix that. You need to take a road trip with your dad, stop and get some beef jerky and shit, and talk to him about it. I can't help you with that. You're not going to use me to fill the void in your soul. I just want you to do what you're famous for. Get up there and sing and dance and fuck off. But I want to tell you about kneeling and systemic racism and the patriarchy and the gender pay gap. I don't want to hear that shit because it's nonsense. I've already come to you for enough fantasy. Don't tell me more fantasy bullshit about the gender pay gap and systemic racism and girl power. I don't want to hear that shit. If I want to hear that shit, I'll remove my balls, get a pink pussy hat, go to one of your stupid rallies. But don't do the bait and switch on me. Don't say, here, I have a movie for you to watch. And then you're preaching to me, telling me because I'm straight, I hate gay people. Huh? Roll Reggie? I thought I was just coming to a movie. I thought I was just going to pay too much for popcorn and be entertained for a couple of hours. Now you have a trans flag in the background. Now half the cast is gay. And this is a remake of a movie that I've been watching since I was a kid, but all of a sudden everybody's gay. How'd that happen? Why is sexuality involved in any of this? This isn't how I remember it. It's like going back to your old neighborhood. Things are different. What happened to Old Man Johnson's store? Oh, that got torn down. Now it's a Lululemon. Oof. This isn't how I remember it. What about that? Oh, yeah, those are torn down years ago. I don't need that. Like the new, they're remaking The Wizard of Oz. I know. Everybody loves The Wizard of Oz. Are you like me? Were you scared of the witch when you were a kid? That Wicked Witch of the West? Bitch. Was it Elmira Gulch? But everybody knows The Wizard of Oz. Everybody's seen The Wizard of Oz. Well, guess what? The director of The Wizard of Oz, who I believe was also a director or a creator of that show Blackish, he says that the cast is going to reflect the times. And there's going to be transgender people and they're going to be Ku Klux Trans members and Alphabet Soup Group members in The Wizard of Oz. There was never any in the original. There were the closest thing you got to romance was Annie M and Uncle Henry, and they didn't hug, they didn't kiss, they just were. So you're gonna jam and stuff and force sexuality into The Wizard of Oz? Why? You got the girl from Ozark, the little skinny blonde girl with the curly hair. You're gonna have to fucking kill me. That little firecracker. She's gonna be the new Silver Surfer. Whoa, the Silver Surfer was a dude. The Silver Surfer was a dude. How was he a chick now? Raquita Johnson, great question. She says, didn't, oh, hold on, the comments jumped on me. You guys are like so active right now. Like, didn't they already ruin The Wizard of Oz once with The Wiz? I hate that version. This goes back to the point that I was making earlier from what my buddy Shanta was saying. The Wiz came out in 1978, just before the 80s, just before shit got good, just before we had excess and abundance in the action movies. You want a good action movie? Here's what you need: muscles, guns, violence, tits, one-liners. Get out of here. That's it. For The Wizard of Oz, 1978, right before the cultural change, the pop culture shift. You know what? To be honest about The Wiz, it is a little weird, especially, you know when it's weird? When you say The Wiz and somebody doesn't know what you're talking about, and then you have to say, it's the black version of The Wizard of Oz. I've always felt weird saying that because The Wizard of Oz is The Wizard of Oz. And if they wanted to make a quote unquote black version, then you should have come up with a totally different storyline. And I guarantee you it would have been super successful because Michael Jackson was in it, Diana Ross was in it, a bunch of famous black actors and entertainers were in it. It would have been great. But they basically just took The Wizard of Oz and put black people in it. Again, if you want to do something and you want this certain kind of representation, then be creative, dip into your bag of creativity and make something new. Then you can start a whole nother universe. Maybe that'll have sequels, and maybe that will have its own thing in its own life, and maybe it will inspire somebody to do something. I don't know. But to just take something else, it's okay to take something and do a remake, but don't fuck with it. Yeah, you're right, Raquita. She said it was weird having a 33-year-old Diana Ross playing a young girl. Yeah, because Judy Garland was, 14 when she played Dorothy? And Diana Ross was in her 30s. Diana Ross probably had a 14-year-old already when she did that movie. It was weird. But again, if it was a totally different story, then that wouldn't be weird because we would have nothing to compare to because this is all new. But The Wiz was weird. It was. Yeah, I tell you what, one that is cool is Return to Oz. That's some crazy shit. You guys ever seen that? Return to Oz is Wizard of Oz if it took a bunch of microdoses of acid. It is fucking crazy. Came out in 1985. It's the girl, she's a little kid at the time, but it's the same girl who played the love interest in Waterboy, and she was in The Craft. She plays Dorothy as a little kid. That movie is fucking crazy. I can't be the only one who's seen that. I can't be. Who else has seen Return to Oz? If you haven't, check it out. Wow. You never even heard of that one, Mark's Music Obsession? Return to Oz? Oh, yeah, it's a trip. The witch, the Wicked Witch, she doesn't look like a witch. She looks like a very elegant woman, but she has all these heads. She has a room full of heads, and all the heads are alive. They talk. When she leaves, all the heads talk to her. And it's like a room, and there are all these cases, and they all have a different head in them. She takes the heads off and switches the heads out. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, thank you. Farouzi Balk is the actress. It is fucked up. Instead of the flying monkeys, it's these guys who have these really long arms with wheels on the end of them, and they like chase you around. I got to watch that again. That movie's crazy as hell. But again, it's okay to take something and remake it, but don't change the characters. Don't make them a different race. Don't inject sexuality into it. That shit is so disgusting. I don't know. I'll save it. There's something that happened at my daughter's school. I'll wait until I see it through and we see it through to the end, and then I'll tell you guys about it. But it's some other crazy shit. But yeah, that was Jerry Seinfeld is 100% right. But these people think they know better. Oh, Wizard of Oz, 1939. It's been a classic forever. Well, we can do it better. We're going to make Dorothy Transit. We're going to make the flying monkeys gay or whatever the hell they're going to do. I know better. I can do it better. We're going to take something perfect and make it even perfecter because that's how awesome we are. We are better than the minds that created Wizard of Oz. We are better entertainers. We are better writers. We are awesome. My daddy would only hug me. Broman dude, your daughter punched someone out? No, she didn't. My daughter has a long fuse. She has a very long fuse, and it takes a lot to make her angry. Unless you're her little brother, then all you have to do is breathe, and she's mad at you all the time. But if you are somebody who's not her little brother, which she's annoyed by his very existence, she has a very long fuse. But once that fuse is burned, it's over. Then you're cut off, you're cut out, take all the pictures, cut you out of them. But no, she's never been in a fight yet, which is good. And girls usually don't. It's not uncommon to have a girl grow up to womanhood and not be in a fight. Hoju Zinni, thank you. Welcome. Rex Rocket says, I think Judy was 16 in real life. Really? I thought she was 14 when she made that movie. I could be wrong. She is damn sure a lot younger than 33. But yeah, my daughter, she doesn't like to hurt things. She doesn't like to hurt people. Again, unless you're her younger brother. She's a pacifist of sorts, but she's been taking boxing. She hates it. She hates it. She does not want to go, but I have to make her. Because this is one of the things as a parent you got to force your kids to do. And hopefully when they become adults, they will understand and they will realize and they'll tell you, you know what, mom, dad, you were right. I don't care if she tells me that or not. I want her to have the skills, period. Some things are non-negotiable. This is one of them. With my wife, it was swimming. Our kids had to learn how to swim, period. When they were little toddlers, we put them in swim lessons. So, at that age, they become undrownable, so to speak. But she was big time on swimming. Swim. Now, if we go out on the boat or something or in a lake, my daughter would swim in the ocean. She'd swim out to the end of the pier and come back when she was taking surf classes when we lived down by the coast. So that was very big. That was my wife's non-negotiable. And mine is self-defense, period. And as parents, you have to be as dedicated as they are because you got to drive them there. When they say, I don't want to go, you have to be motivated enough to not let yourself be like, all right, it's cool if we miss class, we'll go next time. You have to be even more dedicated than they are. And there have been many times where I was like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, but I have to go because I can't let them down. They have to be able to defend themselves. And to be honest, my kids are very good-looking children. So people are going to be jealous. I remember when I was in elementary school, I was in like 4th grade. This new kid named Daniel came to school. He was mixed. That boy, all the girls were all over him. And you're automatically, you hate it. You don't hate him, but you're a hater. Why, all the girls, they were one way yesterday. Now this fool shows up, they're all over him. So that's definitely going to be the case with my son. And so I have to give him the skills because, kids can't articulate their emotions. I'm mad, fight. So my son has to have the skills to kick some ass, period. Yeah, bro, man, dude, celebrity. This kid Daniel, the girls were all over him. We were in a girl desert once that fool showed up. I eventually became friends with him. He was a cool kid. But initially, you're like, fuck him. So I know people are going to be jealous of my son. He's a good athlete, natural athlete, good-looking kid, and the haters going to hate. So you might have to bust some shit up, son. Speaking of, I got to go pick him up from school. And same thing with my daughter. Apparently, from what I'm understanding from my wife, girls, when they get jealous, they go after your boyfriends or your boyfriend thinks she's cute, fuck that. So they do catty shit. So hopefully my daughter, if it comes to it, she'll get that bitch a 2-piece with no biscuit. So yeah, I got to go pick him up from school right now. 85 degrees, so I'm sure there'll be a lot of popsicles and playing in the sprinklers. What a good life, right? Bad Llama, I do teach him survival. Matter of fact, my daughter yesterday, she's like, Dad, can we go shooting this weekend? What, sweetheart? No, are you cutting onions? So I'm very happy about that. So we're going to go shooting tomorrow. and, you know, hang out, dad-daughter time. Probably go get some lunch, bust some caps. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to go pick them up right now. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your super chats, your comments, your questions, everything. Thank you for being here. 8 billion sons of bitches in this world. And you picked me. Thank you guys very much. You have a good weekend. I will do some content tomorrow, put out some videos and shit. But thank you guys for hanging out on this live. And remember, when you guys are out in the world, living your life, doing what you do, you're going to have somebody say something stupid. Trump's a Nazi. I'm vaccinated. Whatever the fuck. Don't do this to him, please.